Greetings, Poke fans! Zack Attack here, and today we're going to be reacting to Playmore's newest draft week video, our most important battle of the season. And to be fair, it is. They're going up against Ellie, who, while her record shows that she's not great with only one win, which was against Gentleman Thomas week 1 of the season, she has a very solid team. A lot of hyper offense, even has a frog, and she's a pretty good commentator. But aside from all of that, she has the battling strats. And actually, Gravy is related to her in some way. I think he's her hubby. I think. And he went on us last week because Ben accidentally threw the game away. So, hopefully he doesn't do the same thing again, and we get a win. Right? Right? Anyways, let's go on ahead and let's get into the battle. And let's see what the Beneral decided to do. With the battle, of course.
Week 6 of the P4G season is finally here, and Playmore is taking on the Shanghai Dragons, coached by Ellie, in an incredibly important week for both teams. Tyler, what are you seeing over there with the standings?
Well, you'd think we're in a safe spot, currently in 4th in the rankings, but a loss for us, John, and there are 6 teams that are just waiting with the win to match us in terms of record. Shanghai's not one of those, but that just makes them even more desperate, just like the Tide Tanks were last week. Look at what they did, just slipping past us. All of a sudden, they're in the playoff picture. So, John, we're going to have to come in with that same desperation and focus to try to keep one of our top spots that we've got right now in the standings.
No week is ever easy, and when you're staring at a Polytoad, it gets a...
Yep, there it is. Polytoad is one of the main rain setters in the league. Ellie has actually not bring Polytoad at all this season. Not once. Not once has she brought the frog. And if she brings it against us, Playmore with the Bubby. I'm just saying. But I'm also seeing Moltres, Lucario, Flygon, Floatzel, Whimsicott, Jolteon, Hisui, and Quillfish for Rigorath, Cacturne, and Clawitzer. The most terrifying Pokemon on her squad that it hits the Beneral's team relatively hard is Lucario. You thought I was probably going to see Flygon, and you're not wrong. Flygon's got a lot of tech moves that hit all of the Beneral's Pokemon for super effective damage, or at least most of them. But Lucario can be the setup threat. Flygon's the main damage dealer and breaker. Lucario is going to be the cleanup Pokemon more than likely. I don't see Moltres coming because of how much coverage we have against it. But Sap Sipper for Rigorath could be a problem. Jolteon's the fastest Pokemon on both sides. This is going to be a crazy battle. But if I know my Beneral, and I know my Beneral, he's got something figured out. And that team builder will be down in the description below, as is tradition.
Lot more difficult. Not only is it an incredible frog, but it's the one rain setter in the league. Just adds a fully new dimension onto this team with so many other threats around it. I'm a little intimidated, Tyler, but you got some big news, don't you?
I'm not worried in the slightest. I'm feeling good. My pockets might be feeling good. I made a call, sent some messages, but the MVP in my heart is back. Blaziken.
Blaziken off inspection.
Wondering, not like me, because I know the reasoning, why Ben chose to bring Blaziken despite Rain being the big threat on the other side. You can watch the extended team builder. The link is in the description below.
But enough of that. Let's see what the opponent brought this week. Moment of truth, Tyler.
Come on.
What did they bring?
Come on.
Is there a Polytoad?
There's no frog! There's no frog! the Beneral's even freaking out. Okay, so let's dissect this team. Jolteon, we saw that one coming. Flygon, we saw that coming. Farigiraf, we saw that coming. And Lucario, we saw that one coming. Clawwitzer's going to be the Terra Captain. Could be Water, Dragon, or Electric. And then Floatzel is probably maybe like a Wave Crash variant. I don't actually know. But it's going to deal a lot of big. It's going to deal big damage. There's no rain at all on the side. There are a few Pokemon that can learn Rain Dance, but the likelihood of that happening, because I'm seeing a lot of major offense. I'm seeing a lot of offense on the opposing side. Yeah, I'm actually terrified. Look at the expressions on all the faces here. This is one heck of a team Ellie brought. She's not even in playoffs anymore. But let's see what happens.
There's no Politoed! No rain?
Ben's taking off the rain jacket!
Coach is taking a rain jacket off!
I'm throwing my jacket off! Who needs it? Nobody's getting wet, and that includes our MVP Blaziken. This is perfect, John!
Yeah, I didn't know that's why we had the suit jackets on.
Do I take off my suit jacket?
Actually...
Do I take it off?
Look at the lightning! It's
you know what?
supposed to be
I'm taking it off. I'm taking it off.
70% chance.
There's no rain. There's no rain. And it's hot in here. It's unbearable. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Very terrifying Pokemon. I was expecting to feel a lot better without rain.
All right.
And I mean, Politoed can be really
but
scary.
there's a lot of hyper offense though.
Floatzel's still really great outside of the rain. A lot of offense on that side. This is going to be a slugfest. Before we get into this very exciting battle, I need to talk about the sponsor of this team each week, Play-More.store. You need to get yourself a Bubby plush if you love
I got mine, John. I got mine.
It's going to bring the luck. It's going to bring the wins. It's going to make you feel better even if it starts raining everywhere. But there's also the incredible shirt that the coach is wearing, sweatshirts, more stuff to come in the future. Get something while you still can. But, Tyler, let's get into this battle.
Come on, Coach.
Excited to
Come
see
on.
how this goes. A very, very interesting battle. We were expecting rain, but there's still a crustacean on our screen ready to deliver an unreal hit. This is one of those Pokemon you really overlook, but when you go against it, Tyler, it is an absolute monster of a threat. Ben is already running a calc, which is not what you like to see.
The biggest thing with Launcher, and it's a positive and a negative, is that you already pretty much know what moves it's going to be using. There's a pool of about 8 because of Mega Launcher, but you know those moves are going to hit really, really hard. Now, one of those that Ben is anticipating is Terra Blast, which does not apply to Mega Launcher. But still, it's going to hit really, really hard because the special attack on this thing is really good regardless.
Yeah, this is going to be Water Pulse.
Yeah, it still just goes for that. Terra boosted, Mega Launcher
boosted,
Water Pulse.
That did 50. That only did 45%.
Wait, what?
Wait, hold on.
That did nothing.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, we have a calc ready to go. I was assuming the worst. We can beat up another one. We have Trick Room ready to go. We can Baton Pass and potentially score a kill with
now you Baton Pass. You got Lagging Tail, but even still.
Score a kill at this point, Tyler. We're not going to get another
Baton Pass with Lagging Tail, but you still go for it, right?
Time decision.
Come on, Ben. Click
this
it.
Is
Click the big red button and go
exciting.
for it.
We usually don't have battles that start like this. The Dazzling Gleam can do a lot of damage, but I think, hey, you gotta do the Baton Pass, and even better, Flip Turn. What do you think they're bringing in here?
Who's coming in?
Well, the good news is Ben gets to see it first regardless.
Absolutely.
So,
the Lagging Tail's coming in at advantage
here. If you're the opponent, it's already not the start you want unless it is, and maybe we miss something, which is likely. We do it all the time.
Hey, we're perfect. Hey.
It can happen. With Trick Room up, I don't know if you go to Rig.
I knew I liked you.
Rock for Rig.
Go.
Yeah, it's 6 very offensive Pokemon on the opponent's side, and I feel really good about our chances of bringing in Rampardos and just obliterating. This is Rampardos with the Terra Rock, sheer force life.
Is that for Rigorath?
It's going to hit like an absolute
That is for Rigorath, okay.
I do see the Frigorigorath, which, it might be the Pokemon that took the spot of Bub. Now it's going to come down Does the coach think we can take that out with the Terra, Rock Slide, Life Orb, Sheer Force, all of that together?
I think you
I gotta
can.
assume that's what we're gonna do. A lot of this draft, Tyler.
It is a roll, but it's in the Beneral favor.
Trick Room and do some scary things. We haven't really seen that much.
Come on, Bubby. Come on, Bubby! This is your time, Bubby. Prove why you are superior.
It just has to. That's what we have. It's what we drafted. It's what we have prepped. It needs to work, right?
Bubby.
Well, I understand Ben.
Do the thing, Bubby. Terrestrialize.
For the Terra. Go for this. This is a major roll. The odds are not in our favor, John. The very slim roll chance for a rock slide.
Come on, Bubby.
Like minimal, like the amount of damage.
Come on.
We saw
rock slide. Yeah. Sit down.
That was a good
Bubby, let's go.
Great roll.
Yeah.
Wow.
You did it! You did it, Bubby!
Start to the battle.
But that's just one down.
We have this thing fully set up. What are they bringing in?
They can't bring in anything.
Wow. There we go. That's
Floatzel,
Bubby.
maybe.
That is Bubby for you. Okay. They don't bring the frog.
Or
Doesn't
Flygon.
matter. We got an honorary frog with a funny hat.
I'm trying to... they don't know our moveset, obviously, so that changes things. On the surface, just with the threat of what Bubby could know, I don't think that there's anything that you want to bring in here. Maybe Flygon ends up being the choice, but I don't know if they're accounting for the possibility of Bubby having Breaking Swipe for that. I would think that that is the chief option here, but I also would not be surprised to see Clawitzer out again. But
Floatzel.
Okay. Aquajet alert.
Yep, that's a good call.
That's a good call on PM7 for Aquajet.
Banded Aquajet. Which we know pretty much has to be the set because there's no reliance on rain, and outside of that, that's pretty much what
I don't think this Floatzel was banded.
There's no way that's going to kill.
Yeah, that's not banded.
Doesn't kill. We hit the rock slide.
Wait a minute.
That's a second.
Come on, Bubby.
Early into the battle.
Yeah! Bubby, let's go! Let's go!
I mean, I don't.
Bubby, you're doing it!
I want to say this
Bubby!
is win week. We got 3 weeks left. 2 of them are against undefeated opponents.
Uji's not undefeated. What are you talking
this
about?
This battle, if we can win it, we at least
And
guarantee a 500
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Begin this battle with 2 huge kills like that is incredible, especially considering that Hatterene is probably not going to be able to do what it just did again. Trick Room, Lagging Tail, you're going to basically take 2 hits no matter what with that to bring this in for sure. We're in a fantastic spot.
I just want to emphasize, we've hit back-to-back rock slides. The kill, now this is based off of Ben's expectation for what is on the other side.
Now who's coming in? Flygon?
For Rig Raff. Based off of what he thought the EV spread
Lucario.
would be on the other side, defensively,
Okay.
he only had a 6% chance to kill.
I don't know why I keep thinking about Flygon.
Back-to-back rock
That's
slides. We do
that's
not
crazy.
see luck very often on this team.
So
we have to
extreme
capitalize.
speed? Is it
We've
an
had
extreme
back-to-back
speed?
times here in this battle.
I mean, we truly lost last week because we were not hitting 90% moves, so I'm completely with you.
Let me see.
We got to be worried about a Mach Punch here.
It's not going to Mach Punch.
It's
got to have extreme speed, right? Like, it's got to have, with Lucario, it's always going to be running extreme speed.
I do wonder if it would just make a little bit more sense. Well, we don't want Lucario to set up, so maybe we don't bring in the Hatterene. I mean, it's tough.
Okay.
I'd rather sacrifice the Hatterene at this point, but you can't let this thing set up for free. I do worry we may be losing Orthworm in this spot.
What the?
Oh, never mind.
A double?
Silly me.
Ellie, you demon.
That was actually, I really
Okay, Flygon.
Okay, our opponent.
We have Earth Eater, so I'm not worried about Earthquake killing.
The Switch really bluffing the Mach Punch there, just priority in general. I assume it gets Mach Punch. I mean, it could just be, I don't know, very strong extreme speed. Or it could also get a Vacuum Wave. Whatever the priority was does not matter. Bluffing the priority, making the switch, going into the U-turn machine. and making sure that they do not lose another Pokemon this early into the battle.
What could this Flygon do
really
to
like
us,
that
though?
play on the opponent's side.
The Beneral is confused about something.
Oh, I was going to say, I like this matchup, but our coach was worried about fire moves.
Ooh, Fire Blast, yeah.
Smacking the big worm.
That makes sense.
Rubber Ducky.
Time for Gear 5, P2.
Here is to suck up neutral hits.
Come on, Porygon.
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
Let's hope it does its job.
Trace Levitate. Good catch.
The Trace, he had mentioned that switch
to
Fire
Trace
in this battle specifically to try to steal that
Levitate. That did nothing.
Maybe,
good night.
Steal a Volt Absorb from Jolteon. At least plucking one of those good abilities may not be the hugest thing, but could pay dividends later.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, our coach is playing a pretty perfect game. You know, the opponent, for their credit, I don't actually think there's been any mistakes. I really like not only the plays and the prep, but at this point, with two coaches playing so well, to be up, 6-4, and in a spot like this where I'm pretty sure we get to either switch out to whatever we want or fire off a hit. Pretty fantastic.
I would stay in here because Porygon 2 can take whatever hit this Flygon wants to throw at it. I would stay in here.
And if that's the case, this has to be a switch or that's a dead Flygon.
Yeah, and even then, I mean, you're not going to bring Jolteon in on the Ice Beam, right? You can bring Clawitzer, but you're worried about the Thunderbolt. Lucario is probably one of the best options to switch in. That thing doesn't really want to take any damage. I am intrigued to see Ben switch. I think we may just be missing something here as he brings in your best friends on the U-turn.
I didn't like that play.
Okay.
I would have stayed in there.
You pulled a lot of strings to get this in here. Against the Rain team, Blaziken is here with no fire moves, and Rain isn't there.
Just wait until you see this matchup, though.
Dang it.
Well, we're gonna have to have a talk about this one. I might not have been the kindest in making sure Blaziken was here, so I'm hoping there's no grudge there, but I really thought we were on the same page with this.
Mm-hmm.
To give credit to the opponent, that is a bold switch, knowing that Thunderbolt, Ice Beam are both in the arsenal.
Well, it was a U-turn.
Well, and they're knowing there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was smart all around.
It worked out really well. Getting Clawitzer in, guaranteed kill.
Yeah, Sack had it in here. Yeah. That sucks. That really sucks.
I understand Ben not wanting to keep Porygon 2 in and getting the free Lucario in there. It felt like Ben was in a spot where he felt like he was going to have to sacrifice something regardless. And as long as the superior
why would Lucario come in there?
Do some damage here, I feel pretty good about this.
Well, that's why I say it was a big switch to give a little bit more on that, knowing that those two moves we talked about, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam. If Porygon 2 stays in, it's going to be one of those. So that there are a few different scenarios that can take place. The opponent is banking on either Ben is going to switch or it's going to be an Ice Beam. If Ben goes for Thunderbolt, there's a completely different scenario. That's what the switch ends up being. Worked out for the opponent, but love getting some Leaf Storms off we can set up here.
Dragon Pulse? Okay, we ate that a little bit.
And that really does not do much damage. I was shocked.
Doesn't really have hardly special attack
really
investment and no speed investment, despite being a timid nature. So
at this point, though,
we'll see.
I mean, we could be at +4 special attack.
That would be nice.
Raff is gone, so we're not worried about
no Sap Zipper,
Don't miss.
Sit down.
It's 5-3. This is an unbelievably good position to be in. Now, Flygon is, the Flygon machine. Actually, we saw that's not even Scarfed, so we know that's not Scarfed, right? Jolteon does outspeed. But Lucario doesn't unless it's Scarf. I mean, I cannot really figure out how we are not in an incredible situation.
Doesn't Jolteon come in here?
I'm a little scared. It's been a tumultuous season, Tyler. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop with how perfect things are going.
The only reason for Jolteon to come in here is if it's the substitute call mindset.
We're set up to win here, but I feel like we're set up to get one more kill, right?
You'd have to think so. Now, this is where one thing that I've worried about before, and it's nothing related to the Pokemon itself, creeps in.
Okay.
Where we're coming off a tough loss. And I want to see this next move Ben move confidently. I don't want to see a cautious play, which I can understand with how things have been going, the pressure of this battle, it feeling like a must-win, even though realistically there's still very much a path into the playoffs no matter what happens in this battle. If you win this, you're looking great. I want to see how confident
Okay. So if my worst fears are true, this is the substitute call mine leftover set, and I'm terrified.
Across the board, it's going to outspeed for sure.
No, it is this set.
Okay,
it is this set.
I see now.
This is bad.
That's the other shoe. The shoe I'm picking. The other Bubby. The other Bubby is dropped.
Oh, okay. This is bad. This is so bad.
I see the strategy
it's
here.
trying to stall out the leftovers. The Beneral had gastric acid for Sipper for Rigorath.
We only have so many.
But it's dead now. So gastric acid is useless.
Other moves because we had to have the gastro acid to get rid of the sap sipper.
Yeah.
This is why you don't get too excited. You don't get too excited in this booth.
Bad. What does the Beneral do? What does the Beneral do? She's gonna sub again.
Interesting.
Do you sub yourself?
And as we can see here,
do you sub yourself or do you leave Storm?
Substitute. Substitute has a lot of PP.
Yeah.
So the Jolteon can, in theory,
wait, is he gonna switch?
Practically infinitely. Which is a really tough situation because, like we were talking about,
I get you want Leaf Sword to be stalled out, but Flygon's done its job.
That forces something to give from us.
Not Flygon's
really
Superior's done its job.
We were really staring at sunk cost fallacy. You don't want Superior to have. He'd be on Leaf Storm late into the game. It's just useless at that point outside.
I don't like this.
Leaf Seed, and because this thing has substitute, it could fully hard wall. Set up
because Orton doesn't use against Lucario because of body
fat. If we lose something here, we got to.
I would have just stayed in there and lose something again. Superior did its job.
I do feel like we're going to lose the worm at this point, which is not my favorite thing in the world. And it would be nice to have this with the Chople Berry against Lucario. There's only 3 Pokemon left on the other side. This is the biggest thing I'm worried about right now.
Thunderbolt.
I know we can take 2.
Good golly.
We're just taking 2.
Right.
Okay. This is unfortunate, but it is what
it is. I know the worm is invested,
I'm a little bit worried about Tyler. We do not have a way to outspeed the Jolteon. We can outslow it and then outspeed in that way, but we are absolutely not going to outspeed and take this thing out. So the Jolteon always has the ability to set up a substitute even after it kills our worm dead.
The only thing that we have in terms of priority, and it would take a beautiful crit, which John, we're so good at getting, would be getting into the right range for a vacuum wave from Blaziken. But even then, we would either have to whittle it down a lot more from where it's at, or bank on a crit, or bank on some substitute whittling. It's tough right now for Ben to navigate. What is the counter to a Pokemon like Jolteon that normally not bulky, substitute makes it bulky, and it's so freaking fast?
Hey, as long as you two-shot a vacuum wave, don't overthink it. Sometimes Pokemon can be simple, and when you have the numbers like this, if you can two-shot with vacuum wave, Lucario doesn't want to take a vacuum wave. Flygon doesn't really want to switch into a vacuum wave. Yeah, you just bring this thing in, and I think you go for it. Now, you could also just go for a more powerful fighting move, but I got to assume that together 2 vacuum waves is the...
2 vacuum waves probably would kill it, but let's see.
And if it does enough damage and they go for substitute for whatever reason and they're not able to get it off, look at us go. That's not going to happen, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, vacuum wave definitely 2 shots here. I would love to see Blaziken pick up a kill.
Or Sphere.
Just for good reasons for the team, not anything personal.
Okay, or a Sphere.
Okay. Why?
I don't think
vacuum wave seems so free.
Sphere's got to kill. Does it kill Tyler?
Sphere kills, but
based off of how much HP the opponent has left,
Sphere kills, but
it's a 1,000,000%
Jolteon's going to get up a sub
I would say it looks like about 80%.
Okay.
We don't have the little ruler on screen to know the numbers.
Okay. I really like my vacuum wave idea, and then they get too low and can't make a sub. I don't know if that would have been the case. It would have been cool, though. Okay.
I think vacuum wave would have been the safer play.
Okay.
But let's see what happens.
I mean, we're definitely going to kill now with Aura Sphere. So I probably overall it was the right play. I think either way you can't really go wrong.
What's gonna happen?
I am very interested to see what the opponent does here. I mean, I assume they have to stay in.
Yeah, they have to stay in.
Jolteon speed may be their only chance to win, so this next turn really could decide the entire battle. You know, Ben's clicking, just it's the choice specs. The choice specs play, we're doing the same thing. They don't know that yet, but I'm very intrigued to see how they think they can win this battle. Is it with Jolteon and Lucario? Are they fine losing Jolteon? They're going to try to set up and win with Lucario or with Flygon. It's a very offensive team. I feel like 5 of the 6, if not 6 of the 6, were offensive. Okay, and it looks like they're fine losing the Jolteon.
Oh my gosh!
But we do still have the vacuum.
That's modest. Is that max special attack?
I'm happy right now, Tyler.
I feel good.
I don't know, but I'm not. I don't want to find out.
So I'm feeling.
They took it over with Blaziken against the Rain team? Are you insane?
Have I ever taken the under? There's a reason I need it in here. We're looking bad, John. We're looking bad.
We? How am I roped into this?
This precious quarter is the collective finance left in the Playmore account. I don't know how it ended up that way. I'm not saying I had anything to do with it. But
Tyler?
My point of concern here is kind of what we talked about with the vacuum wave strategy, and it may have ended up happening anyway, is now Blaziken is relegated pretty much to only being able to choice specs vacuum wave, which isn't a bad thing.
It is with extreme speed.
Yeah, it is with extreme speed was where I was going, because that is the big issue with Lucario, and it's why you were talking about it as being the win con. We're on the same page with that. With that being all that Blaziken is relegated to because of how much damage that Thunderbolt does, on our side, it's time to scheme up. Knowing that Blaziken, if it comes down to Blaziken, Lucario wins that with an extreme speed. What does the win condition look like on our side now?
It looks like getting a Trick Room off and being able to resist that extreme speed with Rampardos. Taking it out with, I'm pretty sure, Earthquake? But then also Porygon 2 has to set up the Trick Room, but then also eat the hits from the Flygon. But
that works.
We do have that trace.
Yeah, that works. Tracing levitate. That works. That works.
And we can force the switch. I mean, I really, really like this. The only thing I'm worried about here, Tyler, is Trick Room. They stay in. Ben goes for the Ice Beam. The coach makes a switch into Lucario, and then we go, SpaghettiOs.
Stealth Rock.
As long as that doesn't happen, I'm feeling really good.
Trick Room.
Yeah, but we've checked off a couple boxes.
If the Flygon switches here, it might be over.
I commend the other coach for staying in there and calling the bluff of no ice, or that we're not going for Ice Beam, which realistically the play there was to go for Trick Room and not Ice Beam. Rocks puts us in a tough spot. I don't know if now, John, I don't know the numbers. If that just means if Blaziken is thrown out, it's dead.
I'm more worried about Bubby. I forgot that it was only at 75 HP. Extreme Speed's probably killing both of those. Never mind. With the Rocks, they're 100% dead. What'd I say?
Bad.
What'd I say?
Bad.
What'd I say? What'd I say? Now,
bad.
The problem is, from my spot, it was super, super easy to see what the opponent needed to do and was going to do. It is so hard in that spot. What is he going to do? Click Thunderbolt on the Flygon? Not easy to do that. Oh!
Okay, the para.
Wait a minute.
Lumberry?
Wait, what?
Oh no! Oh no! No!
Okay.
No!
So many emotions.
No!
Let's reset.
Ben?
I don't know what there is to reset. It's bad.
This is bad. This is bad.
Well, it was
definitely very bad.
You
get reverse swept here. There's no stopping it. You have to get another paralysis. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A crit.
I can't imagine that crit mattered.
Yeah, I don't think
that
crit mattered.
This is what I was worried about. The one chance for the opponent to win is setting up Lucario. Extreme speed, I've been very worried with the stealth rocks to take out that
Bubby?
Rampardos. Obviously, we do
Trick Room is still up, so there's always a chance.
The question now
maybe you bring in Blaziken and Vacuum Wave? I think you Vacuum Wave with Blaziken. I think that's the play. I think that's the play. You vacuum, you bring in Blaziken, hope it lifts rocks, and then you vacuum wave.
That's
gotta be your play.
The stealth rocks is a really brilliant play on the opponents.
That's gotta be the play.
It seems like
okay, bringing in Bubby
is hopeful.
I get it.
Could live.
But if it's got
an extreme speed here,
there's no way we live in new speed.
Maybe they won't have extreme speed.
There's no way you live in new speed. There's no way. Not that hell.
To switch in because we can no longer set up the Trick Room, and we'll be good.
Bubby's not gonna watch this.
I'm real nervous. I'm turning into a fan. I don't have much commentating left in me, Tyler. I want this win so bad.
Yeah, extreme speed 100% kills here. So it's just I think it's just a desperation play. If there's going to be any use of Bubby left, it would be if there was a Flygon switch in that you catch them off guard with. I think that was the only way in the current situation to get any use out of Bubby.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it comes down to speed because we do not have any speed investment on the Superior. So this was the last-ditch effort. I just don't know. I'm not able to do that crazy math in my head. Do we outspeed this? Do we outspeed the Flygon? We don't have the speed investment. With the close combat defense drops, I think there's a chance we could kill here with Leaf Storm. We get that boost. We're probably taking out the Flygon, but really comes down to, are we outspeeding things?
Without the speed investment, even though you're Team Nature, you're not going to outspeed.
Extreme speed.
You definitely eat an extreme speed from that health. You definitely eat an extreme speed.
A lot of math, Tyler, and you're a math man.
It's tough. I don't know what Ben is thinking in terms of speed investment because we don't have his predicted EVs for Lucario. So I don't know if he's thinking that this is a speed nature, heavy speed investment.
He's thinking this is his only chance.
Yeah, at the moment, 100%. Extreme speed always is going to outspeed, so that tells me that the opponent figured that it was going to be a superior outspeed.
Yeah. Yep. Which I think Ben absolutely needed. Normally, Superior outspeeds the Lucario, of course. But, I don't know with our investment if we would have. The question now is, do we outspeed the Flygon? Because Flygon, I'm pretty sure, is weirdly enough faster than Lucario. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. We've already lost a big game to stupid U-turn, choice scarf, dumb guy in the sky that's never getting a mega.
Yeah, that was against Evil Envy last season in the playoffs.
Can we kill at this point?
Nope.
Oh my god, the U-turn. The U-turn machine did it again.
The speed investment on that side, if there was any investment on Superior, it probably ends up outspeeding. Heavy investment on their side. We went with no speed this week. Just pays off in that situation for them.
Now, could you run a calc there? Is there a chance for that U-turn to kill? Like, the coach seems very upset. Upset, but not surprised. So it may be something we'll have to talk to him about missing there. Very, very frustrating. Maybe, I think maybe what happened here is not... I think I'm missing something. We'll have to ask the coach.
We've already seen all the moves in Flygon.
This is
it's not gonna. It's going to attack here. You have to focus blast and hope you outspeed.
This one stings.
And hit. But
as we talked about coming in, it felt like a must-win, even though realistically it's not, just because of the gauntlet that is ahead. It's a big momentum-shifting win for the opponent, but as you can tell just looking at Ben's face, especially coming off of last week, this felt like a match that was needed not just for standings, but for team morale. Yeah. And it's a tough one to lose.
That is a good point there. I think for just overall morale for the team, for the ASA ownership, for the fans, it can be a difficult one. 2 weeks in a row, we went against teams that had struggled in the season. As we saw, everyone in this league's pretty fantastic. There's a lot of really scary drafts. Just because someone hasn't won that many games in a season does not mean they can't go on a run later on. You don't know who they've played. We have multiple teams undefeated, and unfortunately, that's who we're playing in those last 2 weeks of the season. But do not fret. Everybody watching, you, Tyler, myself, Ben, anyone listening, I don't care who we're going against next. We come into these leagues trying to win it all.
Next.
And if we can't beat the undefeated teams, pack it up. I don't need to be in the playoffs because we don't have a chance to win the championship. So yeah, we're going up against 2 of the best teams in the league in these next 2 weeks.
I like that morale. I like that morale, John.
Challenge
I like that.
If we can go 1-2, if we can go 2-0, not only is our playoff ticket punched, but we will then know for sure that we have a chance to win it all. It has been a rough stretch.
Yeah, we need to win one game.
But you know what?
One game.
I got full faith in our coach.
One
I got
game.
full faith in this team.
It's good enough to differential.
Tyler, I'm excited for these last 2 weeks, and I hope you are too.
I just have 3 words, John, and they're the ones written on my shirt. We here at Play More
never give up.
Tough match to try to put together an interview for after the fact. John had to run early. I could have sworn I heard the sound of tears as he was leaving. But Ben, it is a really tough one to look back on it and try and spot opportunities that we could have won. But one that stood out to me and John in the moment was the sequence between Superior and Jolteon. And you ultimately decided to switch out the Superior despite being fully set up there because all you had offensively was Leaf Storm. So we were wondering, was that switch made because in that spot there was no chance to win, or was there any chance that some kind of sequence could have been strung together and we could have found a way to win from that spot?
So unfortunately I had to switch out Superior against that Jolteon. She played her out very well, and the fact that if I did not land all my Leaf Storms, she was going to be able to Calm Mind up, and I was basically going to lose then and there because my team did not deal with Calm Mind Jolteon well. And that was a fact that I knew when coming into it, specifically sub Calm Mind. I was ready for that set. It's just in that situation, it's rough. Superior is meant to be able to deal with that, but considering I already used a few Leaf Storms, she can get 5 substitutes thanks to leftovers, 5 or 6, I think maybe 6. So after already using one, when I saw I had 5 Leaf Storms left, I'm like, even if I hit them all, I'm only going to maybe be able to kill Jolteon. So it's just like, and that's such a small percentage to actually be able to hit all of them, especially after last week when we already missed a 90% accurate move. So it was definitely in my best interest to switch. I stand by that play. Dragon Pulse looks mighty fine at that point in the game, but I never had Dragon Pulse to begin with in my prep, so it is what it is, unfortunately. But if we had another attack, it was like a guaranteed, 5-0 at that point, and now we lost 0-1, so it really sucks.
Looking at your reaction there at the end of the battle, we noticed that you seemed upset about something in particular with that final sequence between Superior and Flygon. Were you expecting Superior to outspeed Flygon in that scenario, and how did that feel when the U-turn was off and the battle seemingly from there was over?
So I didn't respect Flygon enough in prep. I truthfully don't think it's good against my team. It turned out to help out her team, but it was not good into my team, and I didn't respect it enough in prep. I needed a lot of bulk on Superior. I prioritized bulk to help deal with Floatzel and Jolteon more than speed. So natural, timid, no speed Superior, which I had, outsped anything that was P-creeping Blaziken, and that was good enough for me, because the only thing faster than that was going to be the Flygon, either speed tying Tentacruel or just being enough outspeed for Crocodile, which is what she opted for. But I mean, that's over 100 investment in speed, and I really needed defensive and special bulk this week, so I stand by that. It's just unfortunate it came down to it, and it was extremely heartbreaking, because I didn't even remember that I didn't outspeed it until it happened, and I double checked, and I was just like, that's right, I chose to do that. So, but I mean, it's even something I discussed with my front office. I got multiple opinions, and they said, yeah, you're probably okay, so It is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, we both played our absolute best. There was no hacks involved, and it just came down to prep. Thing is, if I made a few changes, I won that game always. But it didn't happen like that. So it is what it is. Ellie played extremely well. That match was so difficult, even without her bringing rain, because Jolteon and Lucario were menaces. But it was a great game. It sucks to lose.
Sucks.
It really does. We have some other tough
unfortunate
opponents for our last 2 weeks. We need one more win to secure playoffs.
Because you don't think about these things until after the game.
So just, stay tuned. Hopefully we get off this losing streak. I'm going to try and be confident the best I can. For Bubby. Landon, I'm going to go cry.
Oh my goodness. Landon's the editor. But I'm going to go cry too after I'm done. That was definitely a match of the ages for the Beneral and the Playmore organization. Because next they play Shuckle King, who is undefeated. Uzi is not their Week 8 opponent. But Shuckle King is. And he is basically a Drive reborn. Or at least in this particular season he is. Getting freezes, getting crits in clutch moments. He almost lost to Nexus. He probably would have lost to Nexus if it wasn't for the crit Earthquake from his Tauros that was named Crit Earthquake. Plot armor, I know. But, I'm gonna have to talk to the scriptwriter about that one, because he obviously put that in there, and I'm gonna talk to him about that. See if we can work something out for the Play More game. But, I'm GG's to Ellie, and I'm just really, really excited for the rest of the season, because our next 2 opponents are people that I know well, Uzi namely, but we played Shuckle King last season, so we've played Uzi all the other 2 seasons that Playmore has been in. We lost both of them, but we still played them. So, again, little worried. Last 2 opponents are opponents that we have not beaten yet. But we're still looking mighty fine. I believe in the coach, I believe in the Beneral, and you should too. And if you do believe in the Beneral, like and subscribe and comment down below, because that's all I have for now. Till the next time, Boogie fans. Gotta catch them all!